And the empires brought their colonies with them. Millions of soldiers from India, Africa, Asia were all dragged into a white man's war, sent to die for an empire that denied them their own basic human rights. They were cannon fodder in a struggle to decide which set of white rulers would continue to exploit them. The war was not just a European white civil war, it was the violent apex of global colonialism. But in the midst of the carnage, a crack appeared in the machine. In 1917, the Russian people, soldiers and workers alike, had had enough. They turned their guns the other way. They overthrew the Tsar and then the provisional government that sought to continue the war. The Bolsheviks, under the slogan "Peace, Land, and Bread," understood the war for what it was, an imperialist butchery. They pulled Russia out of the conflict, exposing the lie that the war was one of national defense. This was the great fear of every ruling class, that the workers would see their common cause across national lines. The war ended in 1918. The machine had gorged itself on over 20 million lives. But it was not finished. The Treaty of Versailles did not dismantle the imperial system. It merely reshuffled the colonies, punishing Germany and creating the perfect conditions for a new, more dangerous poison to rise from the ashes, the poison of fascism. Fascism was not the opposite of the system that created the war, it was the monstrous offspring. When the working class threatened to revolt, as it did in Germany, Italy, Hungary, the capitalist elites made a pact with the devil. They funded and empowered violent ultranationalist movements to crush the left, to break the unions, and to discipline the population. Fascism was capitalism in decay, donning a mask of national unity to preserve the power of property and industry. The war to end all wars did nothing of the sort. It was the opening act of a century-long crisis of capitalism and imperialist bloodletting that led directly to the even greater horrors of World War II. So when we remember the Great War, we must look past the poppies and the poetry. We must see it for what it was, a brutal, logical outcome of imperialism and the capitalist drive for profit above all else. It was a war where the working class and the colonized people of the world were the victims, and the only victors were the arms dealers, the industrialists, the ghosts of empires who sowed the wind and reaped a whirlwind that would haunt the entire 20th and indeed the 21st century.